Sweeping new restrictions are now in force as WA businesses like this brace for the impact of COVID-19.
With the borders opening, everyone's expecting that we're going to have a massive spike, and we just have to see how it goes. Hope for the best, really.
WA has recorded another day of more than 200 local cases, with authorities particularly concerned about 2 cases in the remote Aboriginal community of Jamison.
The 2 people who are positive, I'm advised, came across from South Australia through back roads and therefore breached the rules that were in place. I understand they've been fined as a consequence.
With case numbers climbing, COVID rules are ramping up. Masks are now mandatory at all indoor venues across WA, and in regions where COVID is already spreading, the 2 square metre rule is back.
When the announcement was made over the weekend, we had 15 cancellations because people don't want to wear masks in the gym. People don't want to have the square metre rule, and people are really over the mandates and they're over having to comply, especially when the rest of Australia is opening up.
And the government has flagged tougher restrictions could be introduced if necessary.
If we do have to go down to like 1 in 4 square metres, which is a quarter of our capacity, that might not be viable for us to even be open. But we've got to keep paying the rent and paying our full-time staff.
It really has been difficult to know when we're going to see a sort of end to the current restrictions, and having a timeline is really helpful because it does give you the opportunity to plan ahead for it.
The restrictions at this point in time are relatively modest. The 2 square metre rule is relatively modest, but we're at a different stage to the eastern states. The eastern states have been through 2 years of hell. We've been through 2 years of barely anything.
The state government has promised a compensation package for businesses, but the opposition says the details should have been ready when the restrictions were announced.
You need to have a plan in place, a package that's known to everybody in advance. If you have a significant drop in your turnover because of government-imposed sanctions, then business should know what sort of compensation will be available.
The health advice underpinning all of the new restrictions will likely be a key focus when State Parliament sits again this week. The government has promised to release its long-awaited Omicron modelling, which will show WA reaching its COVID peak at the end of March with around 10,000 cases per day. Rhiannon, ABC News.